Very first thing is you got to know the business. You got to understand the business, the company that you're working for. You got to know it inside and out. Learn the numbers. Learn, what customers think. Where are you weak? Where's the competition beating you? You got to really understand that.
When you look at someone saying, hey, if that's the goal that you want to get to inside a company, you want to be a president, vice president of a division of the entire company itself, what are some of the skills that they have, and what is the way that they should work up the corporate ladder? Because I'm assuming that in your position, you guys built a company, you had a proof of concept to say, hey, we know how to do this because we are doing it. Just transfer me over and let me execute for you guys. But what are some of the skills that you can recognize in yourself versus the marketplace that's like, hey, if you guys really tuned yourself up on X, Y, and Z, that opens up more doors for you rather than being stuck in the single job that you have?
Yeah. To me, it's it's a combination of a couple different things. One is you got to want it. Like you want to be you're going to have to be naturally driven to take on more responsibility, right? I mean, if you're just comfortable punching a clock and leaving work at home, or leaving work at the office when you go home and you don't think about it, and that's like and there's nothing wrong with that, and that's like how you're wired, then, you probably shouldn't really try to do that because you're not really wired that way. But if you're wired to try to take on more responsibility and you want to grow, that's, I think, the number one thing you got to have is to be wired that way. Number two, I think you got to constantly be learning. Like, I love learning new things. I think sometimes it drives my wife a little crazy because I'm always trying to bring out, trying different things and like, wait, what did you buy now? But to have a constant thirst for knowledge and to learn how to do things, not only just learn what other people are doing, but learn how to do things better. I mean, well, probably even back up. Very first thing is you got to know the business. You got to understand the business, the company that you're working for. Got to know it inside and out. Learn the numbers. Learn, what customers think. Where are you weak? Where's the competition beating you? You got to really understand that business, and it doesn't mean you have to know how to do every single job at that business. But I mean, you need to understand the business. Have a desire to grow, which means if you get opportunities to take on more responsibility, take it, even if it's something you don't know anything about. Take it. Show initiative, and then have that constant thirst for knowledge where you're constantly learning new things. And you should also be bringing ideas to the table. Saying, hey, I was thinking about our problem with the blah blah blah. What if we did this? You got to show some initiative, bring some ideas to the table, and have that drive to want to grow in your responsibility. I think there's probably more, but that's just off the top of my head.
Yeah. It seems that every once in a while there's this thought that maybe in some of that executive leadership there's a different kind of thought process that happens, or a different lingo that people go through because the scale is different. Would you just attribute that into learning about the business, learning about the position, things like that, and or do you feel like there is a certain business knowledge that you need to be able to be in those positions, or even leadership knowledge to be in those positions?
I think, could you go get an MBA and would that benefit you? Yeah, probably, depending on the organization you're trying to grow into. There is different lingo for sure. I mean, when we joined, we were a small company when we were acquired, and so I was sort of thrust into the executive management team, for the U.S., and they were using a lot of words. I'm like, what the heck is that? Some of it's buzzwords, and buzzwords change, right? I remember the first time I heard accretive versus dilutive. I'm like, that's kind of a funny way to say it, but okay, I get it.
What is that?
Accretive means like this helps. This is additive to whatever we're trying to do, and dilutive is like, well, no, it pulls away from. Okay. I'm like, I don't know if anybody uses that anymore. That might be like 2010. So, or even the first time, like where I didn't totally understand the difference between a forecast and a budget, and like this is a publicly traded company, like forecast is super important. I learned it right away. And actually now we actually produce a budget and a forecast. We update our forecast every month with our business. So being part of that larger organization, I learned some things that probably most small businesses don't do. Small, medium-sized businesses, but I like, well, this actually is really good. I'm going to integrate this into what we're doing.